these are the profit that I withdrew from trading, as you guys can see, and some of the profit are done with crypto withdrawal, so it's actually slightly more than what you see right here. Just last year ago, I was still struggling try to make 10k per month. With persistency and consistency, I achieved to withdraw over 10k profit in actually less than a month. So today I will share the strategy and mindsets from not making 10k a month to making more than 10k per month from trading. So let's start on with some of the trades that I took recently. So take a look on this trade that I took. This is actually a gold buy that I'm looking into, a fake out right here and a continuation to the upside. So I was getting ready to put a buy stop during the NY open right here on this candlestick flip on the 5 minute. So the buy stop was triggered when the 5 minute candlestick flip right here. Eventually I secured 80% on 18 pips for this trade, and I'm leaving a 20% runner to see will it actually continue to push up. But unfortunately, when I secured my profit, the runners actually went all the way back down towards my entry and close out the runner at break even. So another trade I took right here is on the Nasdaq buy when it retraced towards my zone right here on the rejections, and I'm planning to do a buy for the continuation to the upside since the momentum is on the bullish. So the trade is actually taken on the pullback right here, as you can see, when the price is slowly pushing up. All right, I'm planning to set my stop loss at break evens when the candlestick try to flip on the 15-minute time frame. And after that, the price even actually came back down towards my entry and I almost get out of break even, but luckily the price is still pushing up high with a strong bullish momentums, and I was closing my trade 80% right here as well when I got around 20 points plus. Eventually this particular trade actually hit my full TP right here, which is a pretty clean trade after the NYSE opens, which we waited probably around 30 minutes for this trade before we taking an entry, and it was a clean trade and a strong bullish momentum on that day. So this trade is actually done on live trading. Of course, there's some winning trade and losing trade, but I actually do have a risk diversification strategy that how I actually manage my multiple funded accounts and challenges, so that any profit that I made, I'm gonna go for withdrawal, and any loss that I made, I will try to recover the next day instead of trying to revenge trade. If you guys interested more about how I trade, feel free to actually hop into our live stream dailies, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you don't miss out our future live tradings. Now, talking about 10k per month, you need to look into what is the capital to generate the realistic gains in terms of 10k per month. All right, so right here, let's say if you have a 10k capital, you want to generate 10,000 US dollar profit, it's gonna be trying to be 100% gain, which is totally unrealistic. And if you have 100k per month and you try to make 10% per month, all right, for that 10k is actually achievable, but it's not something that can be done in long term or consistently. It might be luckily on 1 month or 2 months, and third, fourth month, all right, it's not gonna be happen consistently with 10% gain, to be honest. Right, if you have 200k capitals, then you can make 5% gain, right, which is actually more achievable when you have a bigger capital. So doesn't mean that you need to force yourself to have a bigger capital at first. And the point right here is you are looking towards realistic gain, and making 1% is definitely easier than you trying to make 5% or 10% per month. So a lot of the traders out there, when they have a single account, no matter their live account or funded account, they keep thinking of making this unrealistic gain right here, 100%, 10%, right, 20-30%, which is not something gonna be sustainable in long term. But let's say today as a trader, you're gonna focus on building up your portfolio and seeing this as a business, so you're gonna try to scale up your capital, instead trying to scale up the real estate gain to earn real estate gain. And even though you are actually trading a live account, alright, use your live account to actually make this real estate gain and use the profit to fund yourself to buy a prop firm challenge. Right, from there you can actually scale up using the profit of tradings putting towards the challenges. Because if you are not experienced with funded accounts or prop firms yet, the fact that if you go with a big account size or you going for a big capital, you might actually fill it without making any money. But if you're using a live account to make real estate gain and use the real estate gain to actually fund the challenge fee, alright, it can be a sustainable way in the long term as long as you have proper risk management and you have your financial plan. So this is also what I used to do at first. I was all starting with live account. I have one live account that I'm gonna trade slightly aggressively and look towards to getting funds to my challenge free on the start. So talking about risk diversification strategy, so I started off not with a bunch of account that I'm go with, okay, I'm gonna do 1 million challenge right away. No, I didn't do that. I actually did it from 200-300k of multiple 100k account, and when I get funded, I scale up. If I lose an account, I allow myself to have budgets to go on second trial. And once I get funded, the beautiful thing right here is to take whatever profit you make. So let's say I made 0.1% on my funded account, I'm gonna take it 0.2%, I'm gonna take it 0.5%, I'm gonna take it 1%, 2%, I'm gonna take it as well. And the beautiful part right here is the moment that I'm waiting for my profit split is where I trying to scale up my capital as well. Reinvest 20 to 30% of my profit and paid out back to challenges. So with risk diversification strategy, I actually traded most of my funded accounts separately instead of merging the risk, alright? If I were to actually merge the risk without risk diversification, might as well that I go for a big account size, but I don't. So let's say on Monday, I took a trade and it's a loss right here. So I will actually move on to another account on the next day, all right, and come back for recovery next week. So my psychology will be more healthy instead of I'm thinking that, oh shit, I'm in a drawdown that I need to climb back up to make profit. So on the next day, right, I might get a good trade or a clean trade to get me to a profit. So from here, the main point is whenever I get profit from initial balance, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take that profit and I'm gonna wait for withdrawal. So the next day, if I still have funded accounts to trade on, then I will use the funded account to trade. If all of my funded account is actually pending for withdrawals, then I will just stop. And if there's accounts that I actually need to recover, then I come back onto the account and try to recover the account that's in the drawdown. So the good thing right here is when you have payouts that's coming in, so your mindset gonna be positive, and when you go into a trade, you're gonna be not so afraid of losing at this point. So let's say I recovered my losses on that day and I just made a 0.2% or 0.1%. I'm also going to make a withdrawal at the instance. And moving on Thursday, I trade on this funded account and I actually had a loss, so that I don't need to worry about it because I'm gonna try to recover it next week. And move on to Friday, if I had a win on a fresh funded account, on a funded account that's on the initial balance, and I take any profit, that's gonna be also be done for a withdrawal. So let's say I combine all this into a particular big account size, right? I might just be suffering all these up and down, up and down, up and down, and ended up making a smaller profit. But of course, if I actually link all my funded account in one shot, means in one trade, when I take a winning trade, it's gonna be big profit for me, or if I take a losing trade, it's gonna be a big loss in terms of the whole capital. So the reason why I'm not doing this is I'm using the risk diversification strategy instead of putting every capital in one basket. Right, I'm still gonna be focusing the trades that I'm taking on gold or Nasdaq. I'm not gonna be going Euro USD here, and then GBJ right here, and then US 30 here, Nasdaq here. So I'm actually focused on the same thing. It's just that I'm trying to diversify the risk at the end of the day. So this is the secret that actually allowed me to withdraw over 10k profit per month. On the previous video, I also talked about how I actually pass challenges aggressively. So comment down below if you have any questions. Stay tuned for my next video.